Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Mind. Uh, like you probably know me if you saw the old series, but if you don't know me, my name is Eric, and after Mr. G's accident in the last video, I decided to take over while he takes the day off, recovering from his, freak out. I don't really blame him though, I mean, he's right. It is highly suspicious that two kids' cereals have werebeasts on them. I mean, what are they? Nope, no, 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 no. Don't get into it. Don't have a freak out too. The video hasn't even started yet. In today's episode, we're talking about a giant tentacled monster known as the Kraken. According to Mr. G's notes, the word Kraken is Old Norwegian for octopus, and apparently it was an individual, and it was malvent, whatever that means. It lived in that ocean that is in the middle, and it comes from Scandinavian folklore. The Kraken is always described as being a massive creature being capable of tearing apart ships with its bare hands, which sounds absolutely terrifying. I mean, really, what sick and twisted mind came up with that thing? It was apparently so big that when it was near the surface, it could be mistaken for an island chain. According to Mr. G's notes, it's an example of what he calls a storyless monster, which are apparently mythical creatures that don't have any stories to their names. They just kind of are there, and you're not supposed to encounter them if you want to live. Interestingly enough, despite almost always being portrayed as a squid, nowadays, early depictions sometimes depicted it looking like an octopus or even a crab. In fact, apparently there was no actually agreed upon look for the Kraken. It was only known as that big scary thing that would rip your boat apart. It wasn't until relatively recently that due to the mythical creature known as the giant squid becoming more well known, the Kraken started commonly being portrayed as more squid-like. Most scientists nowadays do indeed think that this so-called giant squid was the inspiration for the Kraken, and sailors may have mistaken these big cephalopods for them. But this does lead to a few questions I have to ask. For one, where did the boat tearing come from? Secondly, these so-called giant squids are nowhere near as big as the Kraken is described. And thirdly, giant squids are a pretty deep water species allegedly, so how could sailors have come across them in the first place in order to make this mistake? Well, the answer to these questions, maybe this was a case of nautical exaggeration. Maybe their ship sank another way, and not wanting to admit it, they claimed it was a monster. Maybe their ship sank and they saw a giant squid amongst the rubble and assumed that it did it. But hey, let me know what you guys think, giant squid or something more. Personally, I don't even think giant squids are real. I mean, that picture looks clearly photoshopped. And if giant squid are real, how come we haven't seen one in an aquarium yet? Checkmate, biologists. Here's Vincent, or however you pronounce his name. You know, the Kraken is probably the most misunderstood monster I've ever come across. Yes, he tears apart ships, but he has his reasons. You see, the Kraken is actually the guardian of the lost city of Atlantis, and his job is to tear apart ships that come too close to the city in order to prevent humans from finding out about it. When he's not doing that, he can actually be pretty docile. He is very friendly towards mermaids. In fact, he actually lets younger mermaids draw on him. It's actually kind of adorable to watch. I don't know if he can talk or not. He's never spoken to me. But I have heard that squid are pretty intelligent, so I have no idea what he's thinking whenever I see him. Now let's look at the cards. Why did they give it 3 heads? Everyone knows the Kraken's not supposed to have 3 heads. And what's with those pupils? Squid don't have pupils like that. I mean, really. Oh, and this card perpetuates the myth that giant squid are real animals. Oh, really? If they're real, then how come we haven't seen them in an aquarium? Huh? Huh? I give this card a 1 out of 10 for falsifying information about giant squids. Now let's look at this Kraken in pop culture. The Kraken appeared in Dungeons and Dragons, which is a game I see my friend play a lot. I've never played though, it seems like a nerd game. The Kraken was in that movie about the Titans fighting, and its 2010 remake. The Kraken appeared in that one video game where you're bounded to Earth or something. It's that game where that baseball kid who no one plays as in Smash comes from. Yeah, that kid. The Kraken was in that one game with the buff guy who yells a lot. And the Kraken appeared in that one movie with the pirate played by Johnny Depp. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind. Join us next time when we take a look at a monster with only one eye. Bye.